live now, sir.
So what you ready to do? Right now? Mm-hmm. Mike, clap it up. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shem to the sisters. This is our DC Wednesday class, DC mandatory class. All right. Today's topic, of course, is enduring to the end.
That's right.
It's one of the key components that we need living in America, living in this world, living in these times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's easy to, be shaken. Very easy to be shaken. And you gotta be good and rooted in this truth.
Right.
You gotta be good and rooted in this truth, man.
Right.
Because give me when the seeds, some seeds planted, some seeds on the rocks. Give me that parable. Let's start with that first. What's going on, brother? Anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, just let me know. Let me know if you have any questions online, and we'll get to them. Let me know when you have it.
Couple kind. Matthew.
Let the brother get you one. Grab that blue one right there. That blue one. Right. And the guard to get you a Bible too. He's raised your hand. Brother, get it, right? All right, go. You got it.
Yep, come. Matthew chapter 13, verse 3.
Let me have a paper towel too.
And he spake many things unto them in parables.
Right, this is Christ speaking parables.
Saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. Mm-hmm. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside. Mm-hmm. And the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth. And forthwith they sprung up.
Stop right there. You caught up with his brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you go ahead and read.
13 and...
Let us start from the top. Where you started at?
3, sir.
All right, go ahead. Is it print on the book too small for you, brother? Or is the phone better? Is the phone better? You can use it.
Yeah, the phone would be better.
Okay.
Take a second to trying to hit it.
Yeah.
13:3.
Mm-hmm.
And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow.
Mm-hmm.
And then, verse 4.
Speaking a little, you gotta project your voice. You gotta project that voice.
And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
And the fowls came and devoured them up.
Right.
The 13 for those. That was the end there. It's from the 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables. Just repeating.
Continue.
So I can get the whole verse. Verse 5. Some fell upon I.S.U.P.K.
Mm-hmm. You good? Because I pick up for the brother. Is it? What's going on with your phone?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Skip it.
Pick up. Actually, Barack grabbed it for me. Because I let Barack know where we at.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 3.
Matthew chapter 13.
13 and 5.
Verse 3, start at 3.
The book of Matthew chapter 13, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he spake many things unto them in parables,
right,
saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Verse 5. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth.
right,
And forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth. Verse 6. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. Verse 7. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. Verse 8. But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear.
Go ahead and break that down. No, Salaki. You read, brother? Young man?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you break that down for me. What you think? Start break it down for me.
Verse 13 from 1? Or
We started at 3, right?
3.
Start at 3.
the prophets spoken in parables, which are like analogies. Speaking to his people, he spoke in parables, but not. There's like planting seeds. Not all of them grew, so not everyone followed his words.
That's what you got?
Yes, sir.
All right. Barack, what you had?
Salaki, I went back to read it again. Salaki.
Okay.
Salaki, Christ was about to speak. Christ is about to speak to the Israelites, to the people. As he went and spoke, Christ spoke in parables all the time, but it wasn't when it was coming to this multitude. I don't mean to skip to that end, but where it says, he that have an ear, let him hear. Meaning, when it says the sower went forth to sow, or a sower went forth to sow, I believe he's referring to himself.
No, the parable. Go ahead. Actually, keep going. Go ahead.
So, like, I was gonna say, I thought he was, referring to himself as far as a sower going forth to sow, or to teach, or to lead, or to grow, a shepherd.
Okay.
Verse 4, when it says, and when he sowed some seeds, and when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Meaning the ones that did not have an ear, meaning the ones that weren't rooted into what it is he was saying.
Right.
Verse 5. Hold on. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside. The wayside, some, like I said, they didn't stay rooted, or they weren't rooted to what he said. It's multitudes, but the ones that are actually gonna follow what he say, that number went down a lot. But verse 5, it says, some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth. Meaning these ones that fell off, into the world. I mean, they just, that deepness of earth, I really just only put it into the bunch hold of, they weren't rooted into what it is that Christ was saying, or this soul was trying to sow. Okay. They weren't rooted, so they was sprung up, meaning they was plucked up. Then it says, and when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. The sun, I would assume in this parable, meaning the enemy, or when the sun was up, they were scorching because they had no root.
You're right about an enemy, but it's a better word that the sun, you can say, could be temptation or pressure.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we bring it up. Go ahead, brother.
So would the thorns be the enemy?
The temptation, the scorch, the sun and the thorns could be. It's going to be pressure. That's what we're going to endure. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like them seeds having sun on them, and them seeds springing up and have thorns around them. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't endure that, so they died. And the sun, when they were scorched up, it had no roots. That's what it said, right?
Yes, sir.
So it's like temptation, pressure of this world, and you're not being able to hold on and endure and get through the storm. You drown in the storm instead of bearing it until the storm passes. Mm-hmm.
So like I was going to add, when it said, and when the sun was up, they were scorched. Like these ones that weren't rooted, they had no protection. So when this thing arose, born them, they was just found by the wayside. They was found unrooted. So it's like they had no protection. So that's how they ended up getting scorched up.
Right. So okay. So we're gonna break it down. So this scripture is talking about people, of course, in the truth. When you go and teach, and everybody's going to get a chance to learn the truth. So read 3.
Verse 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a soul went forth to sow.
And that's what a sower is, of course. Imagine a farmer or somebody that's going around the late seed. You know what I'm saying? You know, today they got the little things that turn and it leads, to spread the grass seeds everywhere. Or different seeds everywhere. Imagine you got that, but imagine some seeds fell into grass, some seeds fell into concrete or the pavement. They don't have, you can't root. The seeds really can't root to the pavement like they would do it within soil. And you got some on, different areas in your yard. So some going to grow in the soil, some of them not, because they're on the concrete, they're on the bricks, they're in the soil, they're in different places. There's the birds seen it, the faster so that's what a sower is, a planter. In this school, when you become a priest, you become a teacher. That's what the disciple was. That's what Christ was. Christ was sowing knowledge into our minds. You know what I'm saying? Giving us the truth and waking us up out of the world. Because all we had was the world of the knowledge of the Romans or whatever captain we had. We had all knowledge of their culture, of that wicked, evil, stupid culture that's doing nothing but harming us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Read on.
Verse 4. And when he sowed some seeds, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up.
Right, so you got some fowls, the birds came down and ate them up. Meaning, you know what I'm saying? These people were shaken. You know, so you got some who will be shaken in the truth. You got some temptations that come in. Another thing. I said the live was interrupted. Another thing that was good now. Another thing that happens is you're going to be shaken, and it's going to be a test. You know what I'm saying? If you shaken and you fall over, you wasn't planted in the truth. But if you start like a tree, when you shake a tree, it still stands and don't fall.
Right.
You got other plants or other trees that's weak and dead, and they're going to fall right over. You know what I'm saying? The perfect example was this COVID-19 thing that happened. It shook black people, Israel. Mm-hmm. Like people who mainly people who was not in the school, but follow, our classes online or follow us online. And, watch our teachers and stuff like that. So they was thrown into a whirlwind.
Right.
Commander Nachaamayah said, take the vaccine? Oh, no. He's the devil. Right. See, I told y'all. They've been shaken over a vaccine. When, the water, I took a vaccine when I was a kid. Right. Cause I had chickenpox when I was a kid. Right. And if I didn't take that, who knows, I would have been dead. Or whatever would have happened. But I had to take that vaccine. You get what I'm saying? These things are for your health. And that's what it is. You need to be questionable. You need to be, if you were suspicious about things that really harm you, you'll be more healthier. You'll be much better. Be suspicious about cigarettes. Be suspicious about whores. Right. You get what I'm saying? Be suspicious about that. And you'll live a better life. Be suspicious about the food that you're eating, the crabs that you're eating, and see if you're going to get sick off of that. Right. And you'll be more healthy. You'll be in a better place. Right. Be suspicious about your pastor that you love so much. Mm-hmm. Be suspicious about him and that he's not touching your child or trying to just use you for your money and will never help you in return. You get what I'm saying? Right. Read on.
Verse 6. Verse 4. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth.
Right. So you got some people who might be in the truth, but then they really can't. They're not going to stay in it long. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're not, when it's time for them to grow. You know what I'm saying? They're just not, their foundation is not good enough. Mm-hmm. Their faith, their patience is not good enough, and they're going to be out of here within a month or two. Mm-hmm. They're not going to stay too long. Read on.
Verse 6. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they were withered away.
Right. You're going to wither away, man. When that pressure comes, you know what I'm saying? Life if you're looking forward to have a good life, you know what I'm saying, or have a happy life, you don't need to be in the UPK.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because protection, you're gonna be protected. As long as you follow the Lord, you know what I'm saying, He'll be sure to have you live. But don't think hard times are not gonna come.
Right.
Don't think hard times are not gonna come, man. Because they will gonna come. You're gonna be tested. You know what I'm saying? Satan's job is to prove to the Most High that you ain't worthy, and you just pretended.
Oh, God.
You just pretended to love the Lord, but you really don't. That's what Satan is trying to prove to the Most High. Go ahead.
God, sir. Verse 7. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. Verse 8. But others fell into good ground and brought forth fruits, some in 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold.
And this is what you want to be. You want to aim to be the seed who can grow and bring forth fruit. And you got good examples of brothers like that. You got Commander Junior YAHANNA. Commander Junior YAHANNA didn't start the UPK. He did not. It was brothers way before him that started it. But he's a product of their fruit. And then now he's the commanding general of the UPK right now.
Constantly.
And look at the Commander Junior YAHANNA's fruit. That's a good fruit. That's a good team. The Commander Junior YAHANNA is a perfect plant. You got fruit like General Mahima, General Hazayan, you know what I'm saying, General SHALAM, General Katham, General Kabal. All the captains of 13,000, captains of 10,000, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, who've been in here for 20 years. You know what I'm saying, these generals been in here for 20 years, 10 years, 15 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got officers that have been in for you know, at the end of the decade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Bringing up whole cities and waking up brothers and sisters in the truth. That's called good fruit. And that's what we want to aim to be. And you're only going to be there, you're only going to get there through patience and enduring. Because it's not going to be easy. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to talk to brothers. You're going to be dealing with people from all walks of life. You're going to be dealing with, you know, ex-drug dealers and, you know, cons and police officers and bank and, you know, people who work at a bank or, you know, rich people, whoever, or people, middle-class people, all kind of walks of life. And it's not going to be easy helping them shed themselves to the world. That's the hardest thing. The hardest thing is when you've been in the world and your mind been programmed and trained a certain way, and now in your adulthood, you have to start all over.
Right.
Everything you knew is a lie. So now you're reborn, you have to learn all over again. So now when you hear, you know, like certain ways, like when you hear something opposite of what you've been taught, it's hard. Because your first, say like if you're gonna, I say me and Kazak in an argument, my first reaction is to fight him. But I learned, don't fight your brother. Go talk to him first, let him know, look, you know, I didn't like what you said, it offended me.
Right.
Some brothers might hear, you might see some new brothers come in here and you tell them, look, the first, when you mad, don't go punch them. Because some brothers will do that. Some brothers and sisters will do that. You will say something to them, and they ain't even gonna let you know. They go walk up and punch you right in your face. They're gonna walk up and fight you and punch you right in your face, and you're gonna have to tell them that ain't how you're supposed to do it, brother. You ain't that old sister. You ain't that old person. This ain't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the body of Christ, and in here we don't do that. In here, when you offend it, you address it like an adult. You address it with patience and you know, calmness, and you walk to that person, that brother or sister, let them know, look, what you said, it offended me.
Right.
And it's policy, is, you know, protocols and steps you take to get your issues settled in here.
Right.
Now we're just popping off, or even if you want to shoot the person first, because that happens too. Some kind of revenge. And here you learn not to seek revenge.
Right.
And that's what we learn in the world, to seek revenge first.
Right.
That's not what we're doing here. You're gonna have to endure your offend. You know, you're offended. You have to endure your feelings, and you will endure your emotions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me see. What's the next scripture we got? The next scripture we got. Go give me 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and 13.
Oh, God.
So that's what that was about, man. We want to be good fruit in here, and you'll see you're gonna see all types of brothers in here. Barak Azak, Arwad, you've been in here long enough. You've been in your short time. You've been in here. You have seen those seeds. You have seen good. You have seen the seeds around you that have been good and planted good fruit. The water I can't be the captain of the shop. Big up to him. You know what I'm saying? He was a seed. And, General Thumb and Commander YAHANNA, generals that grew him up, and, we product of his fruit, man.
Right.
Okay.
So, and you're going to see, you have seen brothers and sisters who have been in here for a week. They did not get them root into good soil. They were on, stones. And when the sun came, they got, they got ate up by the fowls. Mm-hmm. Their demons came to them. And they had no defense. So they was on stone, they was on pavement, and got ate up by the birds.
Right.
Others was here for a little while, and you see the potential, but they brought it up. And you're like, oh man, this brother and sister look promising. But they didn't have no soil to plant a root into. So when the sun came, they were scorched. That's what it is, man. And these brothers have seen it. You know what I'm saying? The greatest, you're gonna if you do it to the end, that's when you're gonna win, man.
Right.
Do it to the end, you will win. Go ahead. Who got the scripture? Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 10:13.
Mm-hmm.
There hath no temptation taken you, but such as common to man.
Right. No, you're like all the temptation that we get, brothers and sisters. This is not new. This is the same temptations we go through. They've been happening for a long time now. You have not. No temptation is new. All brothers and sisters went through it. Know that. Just because those who like to scream. You don't know my problems. Yeah. You don't know what I'm going through. Mm-hmm. You ain't special, nigga. You're not special, man. We going through the same thing. You're not special. Pick up the phone and call a brother and sister, let them know what's going on. And then so you seek the proper help and the proper counsel for you.
Awesome.
And don't sit there and not say anything and let Satan talk to you, because that's all you're doing. When you don't communicate your issues to your proper camp leader or the brother you're supposed to talk to for counsel, you're there talking to Satan.
Awesome.
It's just you and him having a conversation. Oh, don't call him. Don't worry. You gonna handle it yourself. Just do it yourself. You've been doing things yourself the whole time. That's why you're failing.
Right.
It's time now to utilize this new thing that you have. Utilize the body of Christ. Utilize this brotherhood that you're just starting to learn and starting to know about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is one of the best resources.
Right.
It is the brotherhood.
Right.
The greatest resource. And we don't utilize it enough.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's like about me. What you said is so heavy, sir. I finally got to finish watching the show Them. And I know you said you want to do a breakdown on it. And for me, it for some reason it became crystallized exactly what happens when we talking to Satan. When y'all talking about the little black girl and how she talked to the white girl, and I'm thinking the white girl was real.
Me too, yeah.
And come to find out this white girl was a demon. And just seeing that interaction, it was like, this is what happens when we don't get counsel.
Right.
Like we think we talking to somebody and it's making sense when really we talking to Satan.
Right. What he talking about is a show Them. It's on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
It's on Amazon, and it's a movie. They got like 10 episodes or something like that. And it's about when black people had moved from, I think, down south to California. Mm-hmm. And it was mainly a white neighborhood. And they were hated by the whites and things like that. And each family member was going through something. The black man being the only black man working with all these white people, they mistreating him at the job. The boss doesn't want the black man to meet his boss. The black woman is being hated by the other white women in the neighborhood because at that time, most of the women were staying at home. Right. Housewives. Right. Stay-at-home mom or housewife, however you want to say it. You know what I'm saying? They would, do things to this black house, to this black family. And they each had demons. You know what I'm saying? The woman had a demon on her. And if you ever get a woman that has, if you ever get a woman who has babies and stuff like that, they got different demons, like different things, sometimes just different health issues they go through, like postpartum and stuff like that, and different things. Mainly when they lose their child, a woman could go crazy if she lost a child. Or not, I don't want to just call her crazy because some people women will get offended like that. You don't want to call her crazy, but I'm explaining like she will just lose. I'll just say she'll lose her mind. So she won't be mentally straight if she lost her child or something like that, or lose somebody that she loves, and will start to behave. Right. So misbehave or like have different outbursts and stuff like that. So that was a demon that the woman was dealing with. Satan tempted her to maybe kill her children, which happens. Right. They had it was two daughters. She had one daughter who had a demon on her. She was at school. It was all white kids, and every time she raised her hand in class, all the white students would make monkey noises and act like she's a monkey. And she hated that. So her demon was an imaginary white girl who accepted her and taught her how to put on lip gloss or lipstick and put the lip gloss on her eyelids and make her tell her she's pretty. Then the white girl kissed her, and she will always talk to this white girl in the janitor's closet. So she's talking to her this whole time. You'll find out later on that she's talking to herself. So that's her demon. Yeah. And later on, the demon tried to tell her to cut herself, like break some glass and cut herself just to kill herself because she hated to make her hate being black. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what those things are. And the same thing with the scripture that we're bringing out. What I was talking about is that's what's going to happen. When you just talking, when you got things going on. Say, you're going through your obstacles, Satan trying to tempt you. And if some things you're strong enough to deal with, you can deal with. And that's what the scripture is about. It's about the Lord in the scripture that we're about to read is saying that any temptation that you have, you can handle it. I'm not going to give you something that you cannot handle. Oh, God. It seemed overbearing, yes. But you got the strength to do it. The Lord just want to see you. And a lot of times, you have the strength to do it, but you just don't want to. The weakness that's in your flesh doesn't want to go through the hassle. That's what it is. It's like, it's like a heavy box or something like that. Like, you can lift this box, but you don't feel like lifting it because it's heavy. But you can do it, though. You can lift it. It's heavy, yeah, but you can move it. You just don't feel like it. So I imagine that heavy trash bag you got to take to the trash can. Say, this shit about to be heavy. I'm not going to feel like picking it up. But you can do it. You just got to do it. You get what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Go ahead and read the scripture.
But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
See? The Lord is not going to tempt you with something that you are not. Read it again.
But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
What does that mean, brother? What does that mean, sister?
Basically, he's not going to put something in your way that you can't handle.
Right. Go ahead.
He's already given you the strength to move the heavy box. You just have to make your mind do it.
Right. He's not going to give you something that you can't move. He's not going to give you something that you can't withstand. And that's what we got to know with all these things. Because Satan play you. Like, you go through something, you're like, man, I cannot handle this at all. I cannot do this. Yes, you can. Satan mess with you. You get, at that time, everybody has that time. It's like, oh, you just feel weak and feel like you cannot do it. And it be with anything. Like, certain struggles with everybody, like for certain people, it's a struggle to just get a license. To, get a license, or certain brothers. I know some brothers, because they're not comfortable with their level of reading or their reading education. I know some brothers who was afraid to just apply online for a job. They see the application, they're like, damn, I can't do this. And it's because they think they can't read. I didn't see that before. But, you know what I'm saying, they had a girl, or they had a down girlfriend, or, had a rib, or had somebody to help them. But they did not have the strength to do that job application without their mother, or without their girlfriend, or something like that. You get what I'm saying? So they realized later on, I can do this. It's not that hard. I just got to sit there and read it slowly, apply. But you get what I'm saying? It's different levels. Even that, though. Even in filling out a application or filling out some paperwork for certain people is an obstacle. And then, so they never do it, never get it done. Never get it done. Imagine you got, a lot of trash in your backyard. You need to get it out your yard. You're looking at it. Oh, that's too much. So you never do it. And then the stuff just fester in your yard, rats and whatever, all kind of, your yard just looks terrible. Right. When you can do it, you just got to get out there and start. It's about starting and doing it. Read on.
But will, with the temptation, also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
Right. And the Lord will make you a way to get over this thing. So you got to stand in a storm. The most important thing is if you can't handle it, even if you think you can handle it, still call. Call the camp leader, call that brother. He'll give you some guidance. He'll help you out to get through the storm. And to handle it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we gotta know. And that's what a lot of times like brothers and sisters got different things that have them might leave the truth or something like that. Sometimes, and a lot of times, it be like I remember one brother. He came. He was going through something. He didn't have a job. He was poor, so he thought he would have to commit crime to get money.
Right.
And I remember the general telling him not to do it. Like, don't do this, brother, because it's a crime. He did it, and I think he got locked up for like 4 or 5 years, 4 to 6 years or something like that. He was struggling, so he thought he had to commit crime. And I'm a young man at this time watching this brother go through it, when really, brother can help. We'll find some way for him to help him out. It's just about saying something, and it's about asking for help. That's another thing. You got to fight your pride. You got to fight that demon. Because it's a hell of a demon to. You feel embarrassed and ashamed. You feel weak when you're asking for help when really you're supposed to.
Right.
But this world is so evil and teaches you got to do things on your own to be an individual that you'll make all kind of excuses to ask for help.
Right.
Like, oh, they already going through something, so why should I put my troubles on them? When that's when you're exactly supposed to do to the priest. You're supposed to come to the priest with your troubles, with your problems, and those professionals that work for the Most High to do the Lord's work can help you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, let's go to the next scripture. We're at 10 and 13. Teaching. 1 Corinthians. Give me 1 Corinthians, verse 1. No, Colossians 1. Colossians chapter 1, verse 9.
Oh, God.
Right. Colossians 1 and 9. Let me know when you have it.
Okay. The book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
For this cause, we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you.
Right, this is a letter. Go ahead.
And to desire that ye might be filled with the knowledge of his will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding.
What does that mean, Harwani?
Read it again.
Mm-hmm.
For this cause, we also, since the day we heard it.
This is a letter to the brothers. This is when Paul was writing letters to different schools. Each school had something that needed to be worked on. Just like here, say like here at the U.P.K, we got schools everywhere,
right,
all over the world, and every brother and sister needs a critique or can have something they need to work on. So imagine, Commander YAHANNA, one of the generals, writing letters to each school, letting us know to critique us, to let us know what we need to be, what we need to work on, or it's just a letter letting us know to keep up the good work.
Come.
Read on.
Come. Do not cease to pray for you, and to desire that ye might be filled with the knowledge of his will and all wisdom and spiritual understanding.
Right. So this brother is saying, I pray for y'all. I pray that that you continue to follow the Most High and do what He wants you to do to follow His will. That's another thing about enduring. You want to do what the hell you want to do. You're born in this world, and you told to do whatever the hell you want to do.
Right.
That's not what happens in the truth. What happens in the truth is you cannot do what the hell you want to do, and that's a fight right there.
Right.
The fight is, damn, okay. It's illegal, not illegal. It's illegal in the Bible. You can't get high. I can't get high no more. That's another thing that brothers get ate up, and the birds eat them up. Brothers be listening, brothers and sisters listening. Yeah, right on. That's right. And you can't get high either. Oh hell no. I can't give up my weed, man. Oh, I need that. It's from the earth, brother. But you telling me I can't get high? It's from the earth. No, you can't get high. The man that diggeth up from the ground and put fire to his lip is an evil man.
Come.
Paraphrasing that. Go ahead, Arwadi.
Slide, so if I may.
Mm-hmm.
So is this verse also saying that like the prophets, Paul wrote this, right? This is Paul's writing.
It's a Peter.
Oh, this is Colossians. Slide.
Uh-huh.
He's saying when they say do not cease to pray for you.
That's him. That's him talking to them saying he's saying I don't cease to pray for y'all. Like he's praying for them.
Right. So he's not going to give up on them.
Right. So he's saying, they're just like, a general captain coming in, like I see y'all, I see DC, I see y'all brothers. I pray for y'all every day. Y'all keep going and rocking and rolling in DC. And y'all, the Most High keep y'all spirits up and keep y'all strong. You know what I'm saying? Battling this tough city in DC.
Right.
Go ahead.
Come. And I was finished the verse. So you want me to continue?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 10. That ye might walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing.
What that mean? What that mean, young man?
Get your life in order. Start following the commandments.
Mm-hmm. What else? Is that it? That's part of it.
And just keep studying. More wisdom and knowledge and understanding.
All right. Anybody else? Brock?
The one thing I would add is that the scripture is heavy as
just that
like when we praying where it says that you might walk worthy of the Lord.
Right.
This not only just the praying for this wisdom and spiritual understanding, but it's referring to what the Lord's will is. You understand, and not what it is.
So like read that verse.
Read the verse.
The worthy part. Read that.
That ye might walk worthy of the Lord.
What that mean?
That you might walk worthy of the Lord.
Go ahead, sis.
To make the Most High proud of you, proud to be called his child.
Right. So we gotta be worthy to us, to the just like we gotta be basically to be worthy of the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Like we doing this. You're doing this for a reward. To be worthy to rule the earth.
Right, sir.
To be worthy, not to get burned up in the fire that's going to come very soon. We have to be worthy enough not to get burned up.
Concert.
And worthy enough for the chariots.
Concert.
And how do you do that? How do you do that? So
Follow the law statutes.
that's right. Part of that is enduring.
Concert.
I mean, it's the list, you know what I'm saying? The biggest part, of course, you know what I'm saying, is loving your brother and sister, being patient with them. Just like the scriptures last Wednesday, Captain Machado was bringing out, where as though, you know what I'm saying, where as though he was talking about, don't worry, you know, when we at camp, you're not really worried about the people outside the camp. But inside the camp, your problems and your biggest problem is gonna be the brothers that you in camp with, the brothers and sisters that you in the school with. That's gonna be the biggest problems. Being, you know what I'm saying, making sure you stay brother and sisterly with them. That's gonna be the issue. That's one of them. Another one is following the, you know, so just following the laws. Maybe the temptation, and the same thing when I just brought out with the brother. The brother told you to mind, I gotta do this. And the Jeremiah was, brother, don't do that. Do not do that. He does it, they get locked up. That's what happens, man. So you know what I'm saying? What he had to do was, which was harder. Say like what he did was go rob somebody or something like that. He would have to just wait. I mean, the next thing he would have to do instead of committing a crime, which is just wait and get help. Maybe brother could have lent him some money and he returns it, or he would have had to go find a line of work. He would have had to go there and work and just work the money up and stack it up himself.
Right.
It's a harder way than robbing somebody.
Right.
It's easier to just take somebody's money, but it is a sin.
Right.
No.
And that's what you're gonna say a lot. You're gonna see a lot of times in this truth. It's not an easy way.
Right.
It's work and patience,
Right.
tedious at times.
Right.
But it's worth it, and it's done. And because it's done. Because the foundation is laid down step by step, and it wasn't a fast job, and it was a job that you took your time on. It makes the foundation strong, and it's not going to fall apart so easy. All right. What verse who's reading?
I was, sir.
Go ahead. What had you stop at 9?
I was at 10. The first sentence of 10.
I think I wanted you to stop at 9. Read 10 me what you want. What you had? No, keep going to 11. Go ahead.
Come. That ye might walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing.
Mm-hmm. So we got to please both sides by following His commandments. Go ahead.
Come. Being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God.
Right. How do we be fruitful? Go ahead.
Changing your life for the better.
Right. How do you be fruitful though?
Doing the work.
Fruitful means to multiply. Twice. Either you lay down with a woman and multiply that way. Second way is, there's many ways to be fruitful. One way is shalom your style. One way being fruitful, laying down with a woman, having their children. Another way being fruitful is you raise brothers up in this knowledge of the Most High, and they go out and teach others. Like how I said in the beginning, Commander YAHANNA, he's teaching brothers. And then those seeds that he planted grow up to be strong teachers, and they spread out to other cities and raise up different schools. That's the example of being fruitful and multiplying. When at least when I came in, there was only DC and Philly. There wasn't no New Jersey, New York, Delaware, Texas, Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Florida. I remember when California was just one brother, two brothers. California. And they struggled for years to grow. California school did not grow. They had a hard time. California had to really work that soil and till that ground and really water it and let it get the sun for it to grow. The California school did not grow easy. Other ones did grow good, like Houston grew fast. Right. There was some good soil down there. The sun was good. It was good weather down in Houston. So that school just grew fast as hell out of nowhere.
Right.
some good soil down there. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how you be fruitful. That's what it's talking about right here. Spreading the knowledge, telling the truth. You're going to get hits up. People going to hit you up on Facebook, trying to get Facebook, Instagram, hit you on the street, online. They're going to hit you up once they see our videos, and they want to know where the class is at. You know what I'm saying? You bring that seed in, plant that seed right in that seed, and let it grow. You know what I'm saying? Y'all brothers did. We all started off at a low level, and we grow every year. You know what I'm saying? And then you plant, you go, and you can plant in another city. You would never think that. You know what I'm saying? The brothers at first, they came here, and now the position they were at, the officers 5,000, the captains 10,000, 13,000, they would never think that they would be in a city trying to teach it.
Right.
Like Captain Sergeant Ward. He was in Philly, he was in DC, went to Philly, now he's in Memphis, Tennessee, trying to grow that school there. I bet you if I asked him, he would never think he'd be in Memphis. A DC nigga going to Memphis. He would never think that he would be down there growing that school down there.
Right.
But that's what the amazing things that happen in His truth.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Read on.
Verse 11. Strengthened with all might, according to His glorious power, until all patience and long suffering with joyfulness.
Read that again.
Come. Strengthened with all might, according to His glorious power.
Right, strengthened with all might, man. Being fully in the spirit of the Most High Christ. Things that happen, we just plowing through. You know what I'm saying? Problems that come, we deal with it in the spirit of the Most High Christ and to the laws of the Most High. Anything that's trying to stop us from, having camp or teaching, we go around and they go teach another. They tell us we can't teach here, fine. We either battle it to get that spot, or we go teach somewhere else. But the thing is, we're not going to stop teaching.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? We're going to find different options to get the work of the Lord done.
Right.
And not be stopped. That's that strength. Read on.
Come. Until all patience and long suffering.
And that's long suffering too. Imagine we go to camp and they just say, "Nah, you can't teach here." The long suffering is fighting for that spot, or find another spot to teach at, instead of giving up. There's many different things that happen. So imagine like you at camp and you're trying to build a podium or the sign or something like that, and the podium is not stable. You got to keep it stable. You may have to go buy something or buy a new piece for it that day. Instead of, you just might want to give up on the podium because we're not using the podium today. But no, we're going to be long suffering and work with the podium to make sure things work. Other things you just let alone. Most things is going to be long suffering. You just got to keep at it and find another way to complete that mission.
Right.
That's a long suffering. Finding long suffering is no matter what, completing the mission of the work of the Lord. Getting it done, having patience, long suffering for me. I remember, I had to live with a brother in one room with me, my wife, and my kids. So we bunched up in one room for a year. And now, boom, we're no longer in that situation, but that was long suffering for both of us.
Awesome.
For the kids, not having no space. For the wife, not having no space. For me, not having no space. But we continue to do the work of the Lord.
Oh God!
It's long suffering for Commander YAHANNA Commander YAHANNA and General Hyman. They started off sleeping on the floor, no bed, and continue to get up and go to camp and tell people that the white man is the devil.
Yeah, right.
That is long suffering.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not giving up. Not being, I don't have a bed, so I just need to not teach today and just go try to find some work, and I just go fill out the application, just work all my work, and I'll come back to it. Let me just do this work, work a 9 to 5, and I'll come back to this next year. No, that's not long suffering. That's giving up.
Right.
Read on.
Come. And long suffering with joyfulness.
And it's with joyfulness that it's long suffering, but the goal, the end goal, the end result. and you see the greatest thing is you're not suffering by yourself. You got, if you look to your left, to your right, brother suffering and sister suffering right with you.
Right.
That's the best thing. That's the thing that helps you get past all of it.
Oh, God.
You're not by yourself, Negro or sister. I don't know why you think you're by yourself in this. Satan is in your mind, in your head. You gotta pluck him out. What's the next one? Give me Matthew 10 and 15.
Oh, God. 10:15.
Mm-hmm. Let me know when you have it. Who got it?
Matthew chapter 10, verse 15. Verily, I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Give me 14.
Come. Matthew chapter 10, verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet.
What does that mean? Anybody want to take a shot at it? Go ahead. Go ahead, young man.
Time to draw the line between the scoffers, whether they're your family or people in general. If they don't want to receive the word, the truth, then stop dealing with it.
So you could have someone around it. Go ahead.
It's like saying, shake it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's yeah, it's like saying shake it off. When they're saying shake the dust off of their feet. When you depart out of the house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Like, your feet been there. Like you went in there, you spoke the truth, you cried aloud, move on to the next city.
Right. So basically, this is when, like, say if you're trying to teach somebody, they're just not listening. They're just, just being a heckler. You're at camp teaching, or you're a class teacher. You just don't want to listen. You're trying to teach somebody. Don't even worry about it. Don't even stress yourself out too much. Because a lot of times we do that. Like, we'll want to have a 30-day battle with somebody. It's not worth it.
Right.
They don't want to listen. Cool. They might come back to you later on and say, some people come back to you later on and say, I heard, I didn't agree with you at first, but now I agree. That may happen. Or for the most part, they just don't want to listen to you. They're too Christian. Don't worry about it, man. Shake your dust off and move on to the next city.
Oh, God.
You did your part. Your part was like Rock said. Your part was to cry loud, spare not. Let them know what's going on. Let them know what the world is doing to us. Let them know that the culture that we follow, the laws that we following, is an unclean, disgusting culture, and that we need to get back to the Most High's culture. Get back to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. But if they don't stress yourself out. Read on.
Come. Verily, I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city.
What does that mean? Anybody know what that means? Take a shot at it.
Can you read it again?
Come. Matthew chapter 10, verse 15. Verily, I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city.
What that mean?
It's like, if I may, so this is saying, like, the city, when we go to, like, push the truth, the city that rejected us, it's going to be worse than what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah when Christ come back.
Man, right.
Because they didn't reject us, they rejected Christ.
And that's why you don't stress out when people, when they're not listening.
Right.
You didn't do a job. Prophesy to the wind. You just did prophesy to the wind. people gonna hear you. People hear the words, the words of the Most High. They're gonna come up and listen. They're gonna grab a flyer, or they might sit back and listen, be quiet. Other ones gonna come and fight against you and not want to listen to you.
Right.
Don't worry about it. Because if they reject the truth, then surely death is around the corner.
Right.
Surely they're going to die. So don't even stress yourself out. The Lord is going to handle them.
Right.
That's why there's no need even for you to even really get a headache over them.
Oh, good.
That's another part of the patience and enduring.
Right.
Because you're going to have to endure and deal with hecklers and hard-headed people all, as long as you live. They're doing the school and doing the work of the Lord. It's going to happen. But don't sweat it. That's what I'm saying. This is another thing where it's though, where it shows your biggest problem. Your biggest problem is not the people. It's not the people outside of you that you're teaching. It's within. It's inside. It's in the camp. You gotta deal with your brothers and sisters inside this body. The people that's outside, they will come in or they not. If they don't come in, it's gonna be worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. They're surely gonna die. Even the people that's in their bodies in Christ, they leave out the school. They're gonna die. They're gonna die.
Oh, gosh.
So that's what I want to do.
You want to drop that?
Yeah, we can drop that. Get Mark chapter 13, verse 13.
Book of Mark, chapter 13, verse 13. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Bring that down.
It's like
Anybody else want to break it down? Give it a shot. Oh, boy, is this.
Is that basically what I.S.U.P.K goes through? Called cult.
Right, you're right. That's what all brothers and sisters go through. Like, you going to be hated. I remember my rib saying when she was on going to Houston. I think Captain Abdul was going through it too. When he was in the airport, they had on UPK shirts. They noticed that TSA was kind of like being more rude to them because Esau was reading their shirts as they going through TSA. What you call it, the security, whatever. It was like she was like, yeah, I noticed they were extra rude with me and making faces at me when they read my shirt. Like, you know what I'm saying? And outside of that, when you speaking on the corner, they're going to hate you.
Right.
And we're not teaching things that we thought of. Like you know what I'm saying? I would never think that I'd be teaching this. Well, I didn't come up with this word. I heard General Hazayana speaking. He was speaking like 2 or 3 times, and the third time I came to the school.
Right.
And I started teaching, and General Hazayana was not teaching his words. Commander Yohana not teaching his words. We just simply reading the Bible.
Right.
We're going to be hated for the Most High sake. We'll be hated for Christ's sake.
Right.
Know that this is a job that you into.
Right.
And if you don't like it, brother, the brother and sister, you just got to leave now.
Right.
Because you're going to be hated.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's like what you're saying is so heavy, sir. Even if you're not just teaching the Bible, us simply following our culture you're gonna be hated. Like I know every time I go to a slave and I had to tell them, I don't shave my beard and I don't cut my hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, automatically it's like, who the hell does this nigga think he is?
Right, and your culture's not respected.
Right.
But if it was a dot, if it was a East Indian with a red dot on their forehead, they can wear that to work.
Right.
I seen straight up Arabs come out because it's different kind of Arabs or East Indians. Some of them, I don't know if it's some of them Arabs or East Indian wear this thing that look like not a kufi, look like a sock. Or looks like a say if you got a stocking cap.
Yeah.
Cut the hole out of it and then tie the knot.
Yeah.
The Sikhs? Right. It look like a stocking cap or a sock. That's the best way. They coming out of the capital.
Yeah.
I know. I seen Sikhs because my when I was working there, I had to walk past the Capitol all the time. This like back in like 2011, and they actually worked in the Capitol. They could be in the Capitol with their sock on their head,
Right.
and some of them got a dot on their forehead
Right.
in the Capitol.
Right.
But you simply don't want to cut the hair that grown on your face.
Right.
You don't want to cut your hair.
Right.
And it's like, you are slaves. You don't have no culture.
Right.
Who are you to try to claim something?
Right.
We don't even have a, what do you call it? An embassy to go to. They got embassies to go to for that. Doesn't embassy in the U.S. protect them or something like that?
Concert.
If their rights are broken or something?
That's right.
Yeah, we ain't got no embassy. So they like, who the hell are you?
Right.
Go ahead.
So like I was gonna add too, like it's so bad that you know, like our friends and our family look at it as crazy too when we tell them like, nah man, I ain't take the job. They try to get me to cut my hair. I ain't take the job.
Yeah.
And they look at it as crazy when we you should just went for the job, man. I would have got the money. They was offering you what?
Because we coming
Man, you
from,
should have you know what I mean?
that's because we coming from slavery.
Good.
Like all we know is serve. Serve the oppressor, serve the oppressor. Now here you come with this new Hebrew BS. You ain't taking no job, or you didn't take the job because they told you had to cut your beard. You're supposed to serve, nigga, cut the beard.
Right.
This is, this culture here is weird.
Right.
It's our culture, but we've been away from it. We've been away from the law for so long that it's now foreign. Yeah. And serving the oppressor is more common than truly serving the Most High the right way.
Right.
Who you had a hand up?
Sorry, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
When you was talking about with the Sikhs,
Uh-huh.
The U.S. military allowed the people from other nations, if they got a head wrap or something, they allowed them to wear that in the military.
Yep.
But you gotta be bald and be butt. Your face gotta be like a baby bottom.
God, sir.
Go ahead.
So like I said, they passed that when I was in. And I remember the hell, General Hassan talk about it all the time. I remember the hell me and other brothers went through when we went and just told them, because they got what you call a chit in the Navy and Marines and the Army called the profile, where you go and you get go to the doctor and you get documentation stating and you can't shave because when we shave, we get them the alligator skin, the razor bumps. And so we went to go get those the documentation, and it's like once you get that documentation, it's like you looked at as a rebel. Like we was looked at like terrorists. Like they would watch us and search our room and stuff like that and do extra stuff. And I remember they passed the legislation for Sikhs to wear their turbans. And I started to see, I seen one of them and I'm like, I wasn't in the truth, but I'm just like, that don't make sense. Like, so he can wear that, but we get hell for not wanting our face to be damaged and have our skin tore up.
That's how much we've been destroyed.
God.
That's how much we've been destroyed. And that's how long we've been from the Most High. Whereas though, like you had, like they got an embassy, they have a culture to fall back on. Like them Arabs, them East Indians, they'll go and say, "This is my religion. This is my culture. This is what I believe in." We wear turbans. We wear socks on our head. We wear the red dot on our forehead. We wear this. And if you fight, and if you tell me I can't, I'm gonna take you to court.
Right. Or
whatever, civil court, whatever they call it. Black man, you can't take somebody, your oppressor to court for razor bumps, and you're gonna lose that battle. That just shows you how we need to reverence the Most High, so the world know who the Most High is,
right.
Who the nigga God is. The world need to know who the nigga God is.
Right.
And in the UPK, we've been gonna make sure that the world know who the Most High is.
That's right.
Go ahead and read it.
You said Mark 13.
So you dropped it. So, and that's another thing too. Also, is another example of the world gonna hate you. Same thing with, I remember it was one brother. He was one of them seeds that did not plant. It was one brother. He came in. I thought he was promising, and another brother had let me know the reason he wasn't in the school was because he was in the school. He started putting his pictures on Facebook. He was dressed as a trooper. He was typing up the truth. Girls in this neighborhood had seen his post, and of course, they look at him crazy now. Like, what is he talking about? He's crazy. he found out. So he tried to approach it. Eve tried, Spencer gave to her, tried to talk to her, get her number. She was like, get away, you that crazy, da da da. A woman turned his heart from the truth. And she probably wasn't worth a damn either.
Right.
That happened. So that test will happen. All different kind of tests will happen to brothers and sisters, and you just got to pass it.
Oh, right.
Easily, he could have clowned her and told her that she wasn't nothing, and then found her righteousness in the school. But like I said, you got to endure. You got to endure to the end. Today we talk about many different tests. You know what I'm saying? The women that just turned the brother away. He wasn't even in school for. I don't think he was in school for like a year. But that'll be your first little test that come to see if you are you going to stand with the Lord or try to get some vagina. That's probably that she probably has 5 husbands. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let me see. Your family gonna hate you, most definitely. You ain't going to church with them no more. You're not celebrating Christmas with them no more. They're gonna think you hate them. You're like, no, I don't hate you. I just don't celebrate these things.
Okay.
But all we know as black people is our oppressors culture. All we know is to serve. Where we at? Give me Matthew 10-34.
Okay.
Who got it?
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord.
That's Matthew 10-34?
34.
Oh, 34.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I have come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Mm-hmm. So that shows you that goes against the Christian doctrine. But it said Christ is all love and this and that.
Right.
Christ is saying, I didn't come to send peace, but a sword. And what do you do with a sword? You sever. You can't just separate something. Go ahead, read on.
I will come. For I am come,
Mm-hmm.
for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against his mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
You have to fight this battle with your own family members. They're not in the truth. You just finished expounding on that. They're going to choose the world over the truth.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. So every brother and sister that came to the school, you have got to argue with your father, your mother, your sisters. You have got to that battle. And Most High Christ of Yah was, sticking on. You've been here for a couple of years now, so you've been enduring that battle and not changing up. Some have, because I remember for myself, my family had a family meeting. They have never had a family meeting for me ever in my life. I turned 19, 20 years old, and all my aunts and uncles are sitting in the living room in a circle. And I'm right there in the circle with this Bible out. I got the Bible out telling them about the Israelites. They're trying to tell, they had to have a meeting about that. And the thing was, the meeting was, there was an old family Bible, I guess, because it's my grandfather, so their grandfather's dead. My grandfather's dead, their father or their mother. It was an old, rusty Bible that they did not care about at all. And it had a white image on the cover of the Bible. So I got a sponge, I damped it, and I just rubbed the image. So the image just had to get a little wet by a sponge, and it'll come off the cover like that. So that's what I did. I got a sponge, I rubbed it, took the image off. That sent. I think my brother seen me do it, so he told my father, and my father told my aunts and them, and my uncle or whoever found out, and all of them came. And it run, and then so they try to act like they cared about it, but that Bible there, it was so had like so much on the cover. It was so dirty and grimy. They didn't care about that Bible. They really did not care. My aunt took the other Bible and put it in a plastic book cover and put it in her car. And she don't read it. So I remember walking past her car on a hot day, and it's in the cover, and the cover is like sweating, like it has like mist in it.
Yeah.
Like you probably destroyed it.
Right.
But it was anything to stop me from taking any other white images of that Bible. Ridiculous, man. Go ahead.
I remember one time, sir, my sister had called me, and like she just sounds so offended and hurt, and she was like, "Yeah, mom and my other siblings, they over here talking about you."
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Yeah, they just sitting here talking about you." She was like, "I had to leave." I was like, "What you mean?" She's like, "They're talking about you crazy and you in the cult, and we be speaking Satan language. We do the Sabbath service." Like, I was like,
I said, you read the Hebrew?
"Yeah, God, sir."
Satan's language.
Yeah, God.
But they probably talking about you eating pork.
You read God right over ham dinner.
Over here, but you speak Satan's language. Do you see hypocrisy in that?
Right. God, I started laughing. I told she was offended, but I'm like, this is, like the scripture we reading. This is what Christ came to set families against each other. That's what's gonna happen when you serve Christ.
And with Christianity, they don't know that. And this is how even hypocrisy in that. Whereas though, because the same thing happened with me. Me and my father got into an argument. And then my brother got offended, but he was more on my father's side, and he tried to straight up fight me. After me and my father was arguing, my father just was like, my father did it. Went upstairs to his room. I'm in the basement. My brother tried to come behind. When I had my back turned, he tried to come behind me and grab me and try to fight me like I was, because you'd been disrespectful to dad. But the hypocrisy in him is he was one of the sons that caused my father like some of the biggest. It was actually the son of the father that caused him the biggest headaches.
Right.
Steal his money, wear his clothes. My father said, "Don't wear his clothes." I would never. Well, my father was too tall for me to wear his clothes, but I was too scared to wear my father's clothes. My brother wasn't. Even though my father told him not to, he would call my father the biggest headaches. That wasn't bad. But I'm arguing with my father about eating pork.
Right.
That's what the argument's about: eating pork, and that he can't eat pork. Hypocrisy. Ridiculous.
God.
But that's what's going to happen, man. That is a part of the truth. Yeah. That's why when young brothers, young sisters go through it, I always pull this scripture right. This is my favorite scripture to pull for young brothers and sisters when they're going through with their family.
Yep.
Because I'm like, you know what I told them? You on the right track now.
Yeah.
Right. And I will show you in the Bible. That's exactly what I'm going to show you right now.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm sitting here just to let you know how powerful this is. Just past Sunday, my daughter called me a dinosaur.
Called you a dinosaur?
Yeah. She said, first of all, don't nobody want to hear about the Bible stuff.
Right.
And I was talking to her about some of these women in her circle, lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't appreciate what I had to say about them. And she said, you thinking like people back in the 20s and 30s. Mm-hmm. So it gets emotional because now I'm like, well, what do I choose?
Right, your daughter, or that's the thing. Whereas though it'll happen, whereas though sometimes you'll separate from your children, and some of them will come back later on. And you're not, it's just the spirit that's doing it. You're not doing it, and you can explain and let her know, like, nah, it's not. This is not. Oh, this is something to save your life.
Right.
And a lot of times, what I do when people talk like that, especially if I know them personally, I'm like, the Bible saved my life. It stopped me from doing this and doing that. Sometimes you might gotta cut them a little bit. Hey, this would have happened to you if you follow this. Didn't what's the name trap? Didn't you get something stolen from you? Didn't you? Like, they'll do something wrong, but if they had the wisdom to not make that poor decision, they'll be in a better place. So, it just happens. If she don't want to hear it, it's tough. But you just call for counsel on it too. Most definitely call Captain Mashak, call brothers, and they most definitely help you out on that situation, because I know that's tough when but it's going to happen, and it's biblical. Who's reading?
I wasn't.
Go ahead, read on.
Verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
See, and a man's foes. What is foes? What is that word? That's an old word for what? Foe, F-O-E.
Oh, enemies.
Enemy, right. Foe means enemy. And the man's enemies shall be in his household. That's why it's beautiful. It's beautiful when you get your own house and it's all Israelites in that house.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry, you're in the house with Israelites, but they're Christian. It's beautiful when you're in the house and all of you are I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
It's wonderful. But when you're in the house, it's you and it's Christians, it's going to be a battle. But if you stand fast, after a while, it will change. Like I remember with my mother, she used to cook she would season certain vegetables with pork, but she would never eat all the leftovers. She would eat them and then leave some leftovers. And she expected me to eat all the leftovers. I would leave them leftovers in that fridge. It'll stay in there for weeks.
Right.
And she don't like food to stay in the house in her refrigerator for weeks. So she was like, you know what? I'm not cooking with pork no more.
Yeah.
And she admitted it to me, and it was like she was like, you got me off of pork. I was like, most of great.
Yeah, damn right.
She back to it now. I'm out of her house. I'm not in her house no more.
Right.
But when I was in there, I stood fast and I would not eat the vegetables that she cooked with that hog foot, whatever, not foot, but whatever. You know, they put pork in there, greens and all that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat it. Read on. Somebody pick up the rock. Pick up for the rock. What you verse you got there, Rock? Go ahead, read up.
Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me.
Go ahead.
Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Now, what does that mean? Go ahead.
So like when you come to serve Christ, you have to be willing to give up. You got to be willing to give that up for the truth. Meaning, if the family don't want to hang with you no more, they talk about you because you come serve Christ.
Right.
Then these are my mothers and brothers and fathers in here.
Right. So what we got to do, what brother saying, right? What we got to do is put the Most High first. Put Christ first.
Awesome.
Your daughter's birthday might be coming up, and you know for sure, you feel it in your heart, she about to hate me. Because I'm in the truth now, and I've been celebrating this birthday for 13 years. I've been celebrating this birthday for 17 years. But this 18th year, oh no, I'm in the truth now. We ain't doing it.
Right.
Daddy will not be at the birthday.
Right.
And you just gonna have to cry and hate me for not giving me no birthday cake. It's tough on you. As a father, as a mother, it's tough. But they'll be all right.
Right.
You do it, listen. Most High pray that you'll have more sons and daughters around you.
Right.
Rather you birth them, or rather they be under you and they come to you for counsel and for guidance. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead.
So like it too, like the scripture where it say more than me. It's not saying you can't love your mother or your father.
Right.
They'll take it as because you decided to go to camp over that birthday party, you decided to go to class over that holiday or whatever the case may be, as you don't love me, you don't love the family. And I prioritize right. I love the Lord first, I love the truth first. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean you can't love your father or your mother. Right. They'll take it like, nah, you hate me, you don't want to be here, you're not family. No problem.
Right.
No sweat.
That's just that stupid Christian. And a lot of times they end up fighting on them or arguing on them holidays.
Fight right in class.
Fight on them holidays anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas though in here, you know what I'm saying? I rarely, damn near barely seen something go down on holidays. Because it ain't about, it's about the spirit. They ain't the wrong spirit, so they're gonna get too drunk. Auntie or uncle, somebody gonna bring up some old things, bring up the past. Yep. Oh, you did this to me, you did that to me, and it's a big argument. The kids looking and laughing. It's entertainment for the kids, while you grown adults argue and fight each other. Rather you're drunk or not, because you don't know how to let anything go. Because you don't know the teachings of Christ. You don't know the teachings of the Bible. You don't know to go to a person and talk about it and then hash it out. and squash the beef. What you do is hold that grudge for 10 years, 15 years, and still bring it up and still be mad about it.
Right.
You are just a child,
Right.
emotional child. You have no maturity at all.
Right.
No forgiveness in you. But we the cult. Read on.
Whoever, verse 38, whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me.
Know what that means? Go ahead, man.
Be consistent in following the word and the commandments, and it's like you said, let the families hash their situation out, and you stay consistent in the word.
Like the burden.
Right.
Go ahead.
You spiritually, you lay down your life just as Christ laid down his life.
The burden.
The same sacrifices that Christ.
Right. What's the burden?
The burden of I guess enduring.
Right.
The burden of enduring.
And doing what?
Oh, so like your family, your children, not wanting to see you, sister want you into the truth. Sister might want to put you on child support now. You got those type of burdens.
Right.
Slavery, you can't get a slavery because you choose to not cut your bed, or you decide to follow such a commandments. Everyone that disagrees with it and what could come with it.
Go ahead. Quash.
To add on to what also Brian was saying, just leaving the old man or the old woman, that life behind, because a lot of times we're still interacting with the people that we had around us before we came to the truth. And the burden is doing what we used to, the things that we used to do, we can't do those things anymore. And we see those things, in front of our face, like our kid celebrating Christmas or their birthday, and we don't do that.
Right. Is this you had something to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say the burden of being hated.
Right. That's what the scripture saying. You're going to be hated in the world for Christ's sake. That's the burden. The burden is being hated in the truth by everybody, your family, people at work, the world, people who don't even know you, but they see you with the garment on. They don't even know who you are.
Right.
I mean, they don't know you personally, but they see you and know what you represent, or know somewhat of what you represent, and they hate you because they know that you are not Christian.
Right.
They know that you do not get high. They know that you are against everything that America promotes. Every vile thing. I'm sorry, I didn't correct that. We are against every disgusting, wicked thing, sinful thing that America promotes.
Right.
They know that you're against it. Right? And if you're not willing to take that burden of being hated, you gotta get out of it. It's best for you to just go ahead and roll about it. It's best for you to go ahead, buy the ribbons and the Christmas wrapping, go ahead and wrap the gifts. Go ahead and buy the birthday cake. Go ahead and get the dye and paint the eggs with your kids. Because it's better you do that. Because in here, you're just going to be suffering. That's the thing you're going to suffer. And the reward is rulership. The reward is being in the kingdom of heaven. That's the reward. What verse we at?
39.
Is that it? I think that was it on that. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, that was it on that. Give me Luke 21:9.
Luke chapter 21, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass.
This one in the pool for you people who are scared of COVID. Scared of the vaccine shot.
Right.
Scared of the vaccine shot. Wars are coming up. You don't understand why the wars are coming up. You're just shaken by everything. These are signs of the times.
Right.
COVID-19, World War III. I just got a text message that there was a man down Adams Morgan, D.C., with a switchblade just going through the street trying to cut people. That just happened a couple hours ago. It's going to be crazy things like that. Shootings. It's going to be mass shootings. There was a mass shooting in D.C. 3 weeks ago. All these things are going to happen all over the world. It's going to happen more and more and more and more. It's going to be craziness. It's going to be war. You're going to run out of gas, like how they did a couple months ago when it was hard to get some gas. You're going to be shaken. But these things must happen. And you're only going to find comfort in the truth, in I.S.U.P.K. It's the only place where you're going to have comfort and have knowledge of what's going on around you and know to keep calm because these things must happen. Read on.
Come on. But the end is not by and by.
But the end is not there yet. Still more to read on.
Come on.
There's still more to come.
Verse 10. Then he said unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places.
All these things are going to happen in the earth. Your job is just to come up in here, follow the Most High statutes and commandments, and then love your brother as yourself.
Right, sir.
Sounds simple, but that's your battle.
Right.
Your battle ain't to go and try to kill anybody. Vengeance is the Lord.
Right.
The Lord is going to crush our enemies. Yours is to forgive your damn brother. That's your battle. Yours is to follow the order. The brother above you who giving you order, fight yourself to complete what he said do and to follow exactly what he said do. Don't throw your own things in it. He said go to the store, get ice. Go to the store, get ice, and come right back. Don't go and get, don't stop somewhere and get this and get that and then get the ice. You're not following the order. Complete the mission and get it done. Go ahead.
Come on.
Go ahead, sorry, B'Quash, you had something?
Come on, sir. When it says nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, is the nation against nation particularly race against race? And then
this is nation like kingdom, like America is a kingdom, North America is a kingdom. Nation again like that. Russia and North Korea versus America and their allies and things like that. Who had it? Who else was reading?
Come on. And famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven.
So that's that, man. Earthquakes, COVID-19, more viruses, more crazy things going to happen, more mass shootings. These things must happen for Christ to come.
Right.
Also, what else must happen is for us to endure until the end and do whatever it takes to endure. You know what I'm saying? If you live in a house full of Christians and you got to move out and live with a brother, that's what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to find a new job or, find a new line of work. That's what you got to do. You got to keep going to a brother or a sister when you feel offended. You got to go to them every day and let them know you feel offended. That's what you got to do. You got to you forgive brothers and sisters. That's what you have to do to endure to the end. That's what we have to do, man. Who we at?
We ended on with verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Keep reading.
Give me the apocrypha. That's what you men gotta do, man. Brothers and sisters have to do. Give me Ecclesiastes 26, verse 14. All right, sisters, you gotta be patient too. Sister, you have to listen to that brother. You're not helping the household. You're going to destroy the household if you do not follow instruction. Think about it before you had a man in the UPK. Or think about it before you had a camp leader or a brother to report to. Your household was trash. Your organization, your willpower was all trash. It was done. And now that it's better, you still being hard-headed. Nah, you got to listen to. Go ahead and read.
Ecclesiastes 6:26.
Mm-hmm. And 14.
Still up. 14.
Ecclesiastes 26 and 14.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
Right. If your husband or your camp leader is giving you an order, says you have to do your best. I know it's hard. You're the weaker vessel, but you can do it. Once again, just because you're a woman, the Lord knows how much strength you have too. He's not going to give you anything that you can't handle, woman or brother. The temptation is not that great. What you have to do is stay still, follow the order. You're trying to run your mouth and do whatever you want to do, you're going to fail. The thing is, you gotta be great, brothers and sisters, you gotta be grateful for the Lord that's over you, for the man that's over you giving you instruction. You have to be grateful for that. Because you never had that resource before. Your life was in shambles. Your life was trash. You gotta think about your life. Like the truth is, imagine you had a cluttered room or cluttered closet with just clutter everywhere. You never cleaned it up. And now your closet is clean. You have to fight yourself not to have that room be cluttered again. You gotta keep that house clean. You gotta keep that closet clean. That's your life, for the truth. Your life is cluttered with demons, cluttered with distractions and stumbling blocks. And the truth is slowly cleaning out that closet, cleaning out that room, keeping it clean. Your job is to keep it clean. Realize when this clutter is building up, or it's about to be cluttered again, and you don't let it reclutter. You keep that closet clean. Keep your life uncluttered. Realize the clutter that's coming and stop it. Put it in a hamper. Fold it. Fold the clothes up. Hang it up. Keep it organized. That's your life. And sisters, you gotta read on. You gotta be silent. Also, brothers giving instructions, you're running your mouth too damn much. It's a time. I know it seems crazy to you. What's going on? It's like something's crazy. It's a lot of chaos, but you gotta try your best. Just keep calm with your head, your husband, or the brother that's over you. Stay close to him. Keep calm, and get the mission done. Go ahead, read on.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Read it again.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
That's another thing too. You gotta take instructions. This is for men and women, but sisters, you hate orders. You hate being instructed. You want to do what you want to do, and once again, that's why your life is trash. That's why, because you don't want to be instructed.
Right.
You have to be instructed. Brothers too, your life chaos because you hate being instructed. Having righteous instruction, it's going to help you. It's going to clean you right up. It's going to clean that closet right up. It's going to help you, man. Just take that instruction. Where we at?
It's 15.
I think that's it on that one. Give me Ecclesiastes, I think it was 4:30. Ecclesiastes 4:30, man.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 30. Be not as a lion in thy house.
I got y'all brothers too. Got y'all something for y'all too. Got y'all. Y'all sisters hard-headed, but brothers, you gotta learn how to control that temper. You gotta learn how to control the emotions. It's a time to check the household. The whole house need to be checked. It's a time for that every day. The whole house is to be instructed, but there's a certain manner that you have to have. A certain, control. You got to control that temper. Everything ain't yell 24/7.
Right.
Or you got to understand too. Your children and wife ain't going to be a robot. They to be obedient, but when those times when they maybe not so obedient or they didn't do exactly what you did, you also got to have forgiveness too. You got to let them know, look, that's not what I told you to do. But it's the consequence after that. Like they didn't do exactly what you do, so you just flip off the handle, you're wrong. All the time. I mean, it's a time to do that. It's a time not to do. You got to control it, you got to measure it. You don't deal with every situation with straight fire. It ain't going to work. Your family just going to hate you. We don't.
Be not as a lion in thy house, nor frantic among thy servants.
No frantic among thy servants. The brothers that you are over, you know what I'm saying, don't be like that to them either. And don't be frantic when though you just ever worried and what you doing, what's going on? And you don't know how to, you gotta be calm, try to control the situation and give orders to deal with whatever issues that's happening. Deal with whatever issues. Don't be a lion in your household, man. Have a little compassion. You know what I'm saying? Don't get the children or a woman an inch and they give you, you get them an inch, they get taken in far, you stop that. But there's always a way, there's a certain, it's like, hey, look, don't do that. Or I told you not to do that. And then you just, take a breather, let it pass over. Other times, you have to fully go into it. Look, you've been doing this, or it depends on, her attitude or the children's attitude. Like if they purposely just trying to be disobedient. And even after that, you check them, the child, and that's the thing. You want to check that child, but the next couple of days, you're really not going to hold a grudge against your child because they're a child at the end of the day. So you're going to check them, they get punished or chastised. And then after a while, you can go back talking to them after a couple hours or the next day or whatever. Let things breeze over. But the thing that we doing, how we destroy our household is you being mad at your woman or your child and you ain't letting it, and then like you continuing the grudge. Like your rib did something Monday, you still mad at them Saturday. Your household's gonna be trash. Like your household's not gonna be in order. That's still your family, that's still your rib.
Right.
You gotta keep the marriage going. You're gonna destroy the marriage, both sisters and husbands. You're gonna destroy your marriage by holding on to a grudge.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's like we got a question online, sir.
Who had a question?
It's like Florida Sun said, "Shalom, brothers. In your opinion, is this vaccination the chip, or is it okay to take it?"
Hey, first, it's Shalom, brother. Shalom, Yahawashi Shalom. And it's all good for you to take the vaccine, man. You're not going to die. And we got plenty of brothers and sisters in here that took the vaccine and they're still alive and kicking. I know that, brothers and sisters are afraid. The thing is, no, don't. Just the same thing like I talked about earlier. I had the chickenpox when I was a kid, and I had to take the chickenpox vaccine, and it saved my life. I could have been dead. We don't fear the right things. You worried about some chip? The chip, don't worry about the chip. You got a chip in your credit card already. You got a chip there. What we want to do is stop getting high. Stop having sex with whores. Stop eating pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Fear that. Then you'll be a much righteous man if you fear that. Fear that. Fear not forgiving your brother. Fear being envious of your brother for no reason, and mad at your brother for no reason. You just mad because you just jealous. Fear doing that. And you'll be a much righteous man. That you'll be all right. The vaccine ain't gonna kill you. Hating your brother for no without a cause, that's gonna kill you. More than a vaccine. Eating pork is gonna kill you more than a vaccine. Getting high, having sexual whores is gonna kill you way faster than that vaccine. Smoking cigarettes. It got a warning on a cigarette box. But y'all don't listen to that. Y'all see that? Y'all talking about some chip and some vaccine. You got bigger fish to fry, which is not eating pork. You got bigger fish to fry, which is not celebrating Christmas, not celebrating your child's birthday. That's more terrible than the vaccine. Celebrating that child's birthday.
Right.
For their vain happiness. Let me see where we at.
31.
Right. So give me Ezekiel 35:5. We know this is talking about Esau, but I want to say, well, as far as our family is in the truth and our brothers is in the truth, don't hold a grudge. Don't have perpetual hatred like him. Do not have a perpetual hatred for your rib, for your children, for your brother that you go to camp with. Go ahead and read it, Watch.
Oh God. This is Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of a sword.
And what does perpetual mean?
Eternal.
All right, continual. Our oppressor has had a continual hatred for us. He has been hating us for way longer than 400 or 500 years. He's been hating us in the time of Greece and the time of Rome. He's been hating when he was just Jacob. Since he came out of Rebecca's womb, there's been hate. Since he sold his birthright, it has been hate. Go ahead. We had Ezekiel 35:5. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare unto thee blood.
Right. So because Esau, because our oppressor has a continual hatred for us and continue to kill us, the Lord is going to deal with him and destroy him. Even when our iniquity had an end. Now, I want to use this for us that when we hate each other, have a perpetual hatred for your child or your wife, or for each other, when it's supposed to have a damn end, man.
Yeah.
You the head of the house. You want to do something, you check her, and then leave it alone after you check her. Leave her alone. Go back to normal. Let her get her feelings for a day, a couple of days, and then leave it alone. Don't bring it back up. And she don't do the same thing. She don't need to bring it, whatever you did last year up. We're moving on. You got to start a new slate every day. That's the only way you're going to grow, if you forgive each other. Not having a perpetual hatred for each other, and your marriage is going to grow apart. You got to endure in that marriage. I know you think you're King Tut and King Jaffe Jova, and I know you think you're the man, and she's supposed to just listen to everything you do, con on con. Well, you don't do that. You don't listen to everything you've been told. So what do you think is going to happen to you? Relax, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Things are not going to always happen your way. I'm not saying don't fight for it. Of course, fight for it, but know when it doesn't happen. Sheet your rib and don't have to feel your full wrath every time. I'm not saying don't let it go miss me. Don't let it go. Don't let it blow by, because to let her know about herself. Look, why you do that? That wasn't right. Don't do it. But it ain't, like I said, blazing on her every time. Every single time. Like she's supposed to be perfect when you're not. When you're working on it, you're supposed to be perfect. You're working, we're building to be perfect, man. But know that things are going to happen, and it's to know that there's a certain way to deal with certain things. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the Lord will have grace on you if you have grace. The Lord will have forgiveness on you if you forgive other brothers and sisters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With that, man, endure to the end. Troubled times is coming. Times is coming. I mean, troubled times is coming. The Lord and the Satan's going to try to shake the tree and try to get you to not come up in the school. Whenever you had it happen, call. Pick up that phone. That's the most important thing. Pick up that phone. Call a camp leader. Call the brothers to get to the proper channels. To the proper brothers. And let's deal with these issues together. That's how we're going to stand strong as the body of Christ. You get what I'm saying? You don't do that, you're weak, and you're going to wither away.
Right.
You're going to fail, and all your efforts are going to be for nothing. Imagine the efforts you took and the hate and the, what you call it? Not the heckling, what's the word I want to use? All the people that just talk about you for being in the truth.
Right.
All the stuff they say about you. Imagine you going through that for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, just for you to finally leave up out of there. And then you leave out, and they can say, "See, I told you." Or some of them they'll get you like this. "Oh, what happened? I thought you were so. Man, what happened?" Maybe they'll do that. Don't do this for nothing. Don't let your efforts be for naught, man.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Endure to the end.
That's right.
And the best way is that the best way to endure is to pick up that phone. Pick up that phone. We're going to endure our issues together. That's the true spirit of Christ. With that, Pastor Class Priest and also our watching.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, you are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to marry, to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry, TITHES, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew, and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. The next upcoming holy convocation is the memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. It's the first day of the 7th month. That is on a Monday, which is September 2nd, 2021. And you can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 28, verses 24 through 25.
Right. For DC, when we celebrate and we're doing these high holy days, remember the spirit that we had when Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Easter came, how we went all out. For Easter, you put a fake grass and a dye and the eggs and had the Easter egg hunt for the children.
Right.
So let's go all out for the Lord and make sure his high holy days that come up. I mean, these high holy days and memorials that come up, that we do the same, carry with the same spirit or a better spirit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And rock it out and have it be way more glorious than any Christmas celebration or Thanksgiving celebration that we have done in our past.
Right.
All right.
The next I.S.U.P.K. cookout event is in New York on Randall's Island. Let me change the date. August 20th, man. They dropped the Thursday.
Okay.
It will be August 20th and 21st, which is a Friday and Saturday. The next I.S.U.P.K. cookout event will be in Texas, October 7th through the 10th, Las Vegas, November 11th through the 14th, and Florida, December 2nd through the 6th. Remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K. events and materials. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black. which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, or scarf. And with that, say Amaya, which means to stand. Give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Amaya Shabbat, Amaya Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Thumb.
Yazmatah, Saw, which means to turn so you can stand. Give one courtesy salute to the sister, men of Israel, Amaya Shabbat, Amaya Barak,
Yahweh Shema Thah Shem Yahushua.
Yazmatah,
and with that, class dismissed.